I mean, is Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get the sauce. Good morning. March Madness is crazy. I keep thinking every day is Saturday. These early days.
Me and my wife think everything is Friday.
Well, last week with the conference tournaments, we were live every morning at 11 a.m. And I must have mislabeled things as Saturday 3 or 4 days out of the week because normally I'm not like ready to go on camera at 10 a.m. That's a Saturday thing. So, yeah, this is throwing my body clock off here. But what's up, everybody? Hope you're all having a lovely morning. Hope you all had a nice Thursday night. I did. I went 3-0 on the website. All my bets in total went 4-1. I did lose UNC Wilmington money line for a half unit. I mean, plus 900. You take some shots, you lose some shots. But I did also have the Lakers Bucks under, which I forgot to post on the website, which sucks. Robbed myself of a win there, but things have been going very well for me in the NBA. And I went, well, UNC Wilmington was technically a loss, but my 2 March Madness bets won yesterday. So, yeah, nothing but positive vibes for me. Scoop, I saw you said Toast was telling everybody he had a bad day and he gained a unit. It was plus 1 unit.
Yeah, last night he was complaining that he had a bad day. On the website, he was above a unit. Nice.
I never said that I had a bad day. I said that you want to bet because every time I say something negative, you say something randomly positive.
I'm trying to be a positive person. I'm trying to bring light into this
world.
world.
That's all I said was you won me a bet and I got late because of you. So thank you. That's all I said.
I won the show yesterday. My mom went 16-0, but I went second. And so I'm just saying, don't be so.
I even had a better day than the website said because I didn't post Drake. I didn't post like 3 bets on there that I just forgot.
So you did well. So cheer up.
Fantastic day.
Get up and grab that beautiful butterfly, pal.
All right, this episode is brought to you by SeatGeek. Today's episode is brought to you by SeatGeek, and I want to give them a shout out here. If you're looking for a spot to get the best deal on tickets to some March Madness action, got to go with SeatGeek here. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There are over 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, and not just sports. They've got concerts on there, festivals. If you need tickets to an event, SeatGeek is the spot. I love SeatGeek. I'm a huge SeatGeek guy. I like how each ticket is rated on a 1 to 10 scale. You got to look for the green dots. The green dots means great deal. Red dots mean not as great of a deal. If you want $20 off tickets from SeatGeek, use the code KIRMS, KIRMS. That's $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek if you use the promo code KIRMS. And it doesn't have to be right now. You can click the link in the description and download the app, and you'll still get the $20 off later if you click this link right now. Promo code KIRMS.
The #1 ticketing app, the best in the business. Why wait? Head on over to SeatGeek, promo code KIRMS.
All right. Shall we talk some ball? You know what? Let me close Discord on my computer because if I don't, the notifications keep popping up. Those people in the NHL chat, they're just in the NHL chat in there. I wish I could mute all the people in the NHL chat.
College baseball.
Oh, it's college baseball.
College baseball, man. Everyone goes nuts in college.
That chat is like buzzing. And when they asked me, they're like, "Can we add a college baseball chat to the group?" And I was like, "Dude, no one's gonna use that shit. It's like the most active chat in there." All right, so Baylor, Mississippi State, and before you guys talk, I just want to say,
I already know. I can already call it right now.
Baylor.
You switched.
I have switched. Listen very closely, and if you guys watched basketball yesterday, you're going to understand what I'm saying. Friday's Baylor equals Thursday's Louisville. It's the first game of the day where everybody is on one side. Everyone is taking Baylor here, just like everyone took Louisville yesterday. Mississippi State's going to win.
Everybody's on Baylor, huh?
Yeah, we're pulling 70% Baylor.
Yeah, the first one's a hard one. First cut is the deepest, as Shania Twain says. I think that's Shania Twain. Is it Shania Twain? I don't know.
What?
The
Did you
first
just
cut is the deepest.
No, that's
You lost me.
first cut is that's I don't.
Anyway, I truly don't have a bet. Oh, I truly wasn't gonna have a bet in this one.
It's Rod Stewart, by the way, is the original song.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ!
well, the original. I'm
Are we
talking
doing this right now?
All right, go.
Listen,
East Coasters.
Baylor, when they can shoot the three, the game shouldn't be particularly close. I have a Baylor money line. I bet it last night just to have action on the first game. Mississippi State just has a bad 3-point defense. I've said it. I know Toast has been on Mississippi State all year, but I've been kind of down on them. They're still 321st in the country defending the three. The thing with Baylor is they kind of changed their game from last year. They play more of an inside game with Edgecombe. Still shoot a decent amount, but it's not like their percentage is there from three. Edgecombe is probably the best player here. Amir's a double-double machine down low. Jeremy Roach, I guess, is a third good option. Mississippi State goes as Josh Hubbard goes. Obviously, if he doesn't have a solid game, I don't think they stay close in this one since there's really no reliable second option, I think, for Mississippi State's offense. The other side, though, there's nothing Baylor does specifically well. They're a pretty good offense and average defense. They run a slow pace. So if their shots aren't falling, they're going to have a rough time too. Overall, I'd side with Baylor. They have more scoring options. They can hit the shots from outside. They should come away with a win. And Scott Drew's been here before. He's seen these battles before. So I bet the money line last night. Only a halfie on it, but I don't really like the other team, to be honest.
For those playing the home game, the original song is Rod Stewart, and thanks to the comments, the version Scoop's referring to is Sheryl Crow.
Sheryl Crow.
Cheryl. Toast.
Oh, good old Sheryl.
Jesus Christ. You guys want to do like a Bruce Springsteen thing really quick? I know you guys love him too.
The boss?
Boss, that's right around us.
We're from New Jersey, bro. Of course you're like
I know.
Bruce Springsteen. All right, are you going to pick?
You already know I'm on Baylor. What are you talking about? That's why you did that whole soliloquy about you switching and everybody being on Baylor, trying to get me to change my mind. It's not going to happen. This game's going to be played in the half court. Mississippi State is a really good defensive team. Yes, there's no question about that. But they live off of getting turnovers and blocks. And if this game is slowed down in the half court, I think that's a really disadvantage for Mississippi State because you have a Baylor team that's starting to play a little bit better. They're a little bit more healthy. I understand they lost to Texas Tech in the Big 12 tournament and they lost to Houston. But besides that, they had been playing a little bit better and they're finally starting to get healthy here. Do I love the fact that everybody in the world's on them? No, but there has to be some action on Mississippi State because they were a favorite. I'm sorry, they were the dog and now they're the favorite. So there was some early action on them. But I also, again, I've said it the last couple of games, I do think that Jeremy Roach continuing to get healthier and better is going to help. So he went from doing absolutely nothing to now he's close to like double-digit points a game. So if he just gives them something, you add on the guys like Edgecombe and whatnot. I just think that Baylor's just going to be too much for them. So we're going to find out. I don't love that. If the world's truly on them, I don't really love that. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, there's just a few select sharps on Mississippi State. Me, some other guys, Helms, just some sharps on the Bulldogs.
Oh, yeah. That's what you call.
Let's go on to the next game.
I will say Mississippi State's like the one team this year that I've went to bat with, like the whole world against me, and they've come through every single time.
You love going to bat with Mississippi State.
I do, actually.
And now you're abandoning them in their hour of need.
Well, at the time, I didn't know that it would be so public. I saw the line flip, and I got excited.
All right, so we're going to get to a pretty popular underdog pick in terms of the big underdogs, right? In terms of the teams catching 20-plus points. I think there are people legitimately think that Robert Morris is going to win this game. I think the lore of Robert Morris is pushing the market a little out of control. 21.5. Shouldn't this game be like 29? Like Alabama has NBA players on it. Like, what are we doing?
I disagree. You said 29.
Well, I'm just throwing a number out there. Shouldn't it be bigger? How about that?
No, I would disagree. I would disagree that I would make this game probably even a little bit lower. Honestly, I mean,
so
Ken Palm has it.
You're on Robert Morris.
I didn't bet it, but I would. That's the only way I would play it. But Ken Palm makes this 20. Being on a neutral with both these teams. I mean, I don't. 30, I think the world's on Robert Morris, or 29. But I do think that I'm just really curious to see what you get out of Alabama. I'm not going to try to make this case that the Horizon League is some really good league and you got to watch out for Robert Morris and yada, yada, yada. They're a decent basketball team. There's no question about that. I mean, they're still a top 130, 140 team in Ken Pop. But the question for me is, what Alabama do you get? Like, there's a part of me that really wants to just go back to the system that never fails. And that's Alabama off of a loss to score 100 points. And there's a big but behind that. Like, I have to see it with Alabama first in this tournament, because we all know what they did last year. They went to the Final Four. That was awesome. They also shot the freaking lights out. And obviously that's what you have to do in this tournament to win. You got to get hot, and you give them credit for all that. But if they can do it 2 years in a row, then they might be a team that can be really dangerous. They looked really good the last part of the season. They lost by 3 to Tennessee. They lost by 3 or 4 to Florida. They beat Auburn and Kentucky, Mississippi State, or Kentucky twice, actually. So, again, it's really hard to fade Alabama. But again, I just feel like after what we saw last year, I think it's going to be very hard for them to replicate that. On top of the fact that Grant Nelson isn't going to be 100% for them. And if he's not 100%, that takes away one of their big guys that they really can facilitate for them. I like Robert Morris here. It sucks that it's so trendy. I probably won't end up betting it, but yeah, you can put Robert Morris up for me.
Scoop, do you have any response to the allegations that beardless Scoop is not as sharp as Beard Scoop?
We had this in college football. I think when I shaved, I was like hitting at like an 80% ROI or something.
So you're saying beardless Scoop is sharper than Beard Scoop?
Oh, yeah, it's way out there. So
wow.
Just saying.
So this is when we should start tailing, because now you are beardless.
Right.
All right.
Exactly.
What do you think, beardless?
Beardless, I am on the over here. Good old Bobby Moe. Grant Nelson is a pretty big blow for Bama. I don't know if he's playing here. It sounds like he might be out for this one. He's a huge piece down low. In that Florida game, he was kind of filling the stat sheet that first half before going down. He's a huge part down low, especially grabbing some boards. So, but either way, I kind of agree with Toast. I think they can cover here, Robert Morris. It's not like Alabama will play any defense, but Bobby isn't terrible on offense either. They can run with you, especially from deep. 4 players are shooting over 38% from 3. They won 10 in a row. I know they haven't played anyone, not even close to the talent of Bama, but I'm also not trusting Bama to beat a team by 24 points when they don't play defense. Robert Morris averages 77 points, so even if Bama hits 100, they'll still cover this number. Bama doesn't force any turnovers. They play defense kind of like it's like N1 mixtape for the most part. If they don't have a solid player down low in Nelson either, Bama does give up a ton of shots on defense due to their tempo. If a team can get hot, it's going to be hard to cover the number for Bama. Robert Morris also gets to the free throw line a lot. They're 30th in free throw rate. Any extra points are going to help cover the spread, but I do like the over here. I think there's just going to be, I mean, even if Robert Morris plays some defense, it's Alabama. Obviously, they can score. So I think this is going to be a back and forth game. I think the over is going to hit pretty easily.
I kind of like what Scoop was saying. I'll tail beardless there with an over 166.5. I don't know if I actually bet that. Probably not. Next up, let's talk Lipscomb. We got Lipscomb catching 14.5 from the Clones. Man, the Clones, very strange season for the Clones. There were times where they looked like the best team in the Big 12. And there were other times where it was like, oh, this is definitely the pick for the team to drop in the first round of the tournament. So the question I have, because we had concerns with this throughout the season, is what is the current injury status of Iowa State? Are they healthy?
They have Gilbert out for the year. Yeah. He's not playing. Other than that, I mean, Hawley's out, but he's been out for a while.
Are you laying 14.5 without Gilbert?
Yeah, I love Iowa State here. Lipscomb isn't a good team. Experience is there for Iowa State. A big issue, obviously, I just said Gilbert's going to be out here, but regardless for this round, I don't think they're going to need him. Lipsy, Jones, Jefferson, all more than capable of taking it to Lipscomb. Next round, I have more problems with the Gilbert news. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Iowa State, I feel, slipped up a bit, but they were battling injuries kind of all year, kind of like Texas Tech was. When his team is fully healthy, which, again, they won't be, but they can compete with anyone. With Lipsy and Gilbert out, they didn't have any guard play. Lipsy's back. It'll open up the floor more, get Jones involved. Lipscomb has shot well all year, but I don't really see that happening against a strong Iowa State defense. not many people mention Iowa State. They're still a top 10 defense and a decent rebounding team. Lipscomb, if their shots aren't falling, they're not going to get second or third chances. They're 322nd in offensive rebounds a game. This is a really popular upset pick because I don't think Iowa State gets respect. Just regarding the spreads, I think 86% of the money is on Lipscomb. I mean, no respect to Iowa State. I figured this would happen right away. Iowa State is better than people think they are. I just think that no one really talks about them. Lipscomb, I think this is entering a dog walking of the day, personally. I think Iowa State wins by like 30.
Beardless is on it today. I'll bet this with you, Scoop. This Beardless guy, sharp, right?
It's like 15 years younger over here.
Toast, are you siding with Beardless?
Yeah, it was the first bet I made of the tournament. Iowa State minus 13.5. I think that everybody's making. I mean, you can pretty much copy and paste exactly what Scoop said. I think everybody's making too much of a deal out of the Gilbert injury. I do not think that Lipscomb's a very good basketball team. I mean, yeah. I agree. You can't. Everything that I'm about to say, Scoop's already said. So yeah, I really like Iowa State here today. It's one of my favorite plays of the day.
When Toast agrees with me like 100%, I don't know what to deal with. I don't know how to deal with that. I don't know what to do.
All right, sweep on the clones representing Matt Campbell.
I already know tomorrow me and him disagree on 2 games already, and I didn't even look at anything.
I've already bet the whole board for tomorrow.
I only bet the first 3 because I didn't make any bets after the
it's okay, game. Everybody. You can still get on the Gonzaga train. Nice padded seats. They serve 3 meals. It's all good.
Oh, my God. All it takes is one win for this dude to just completely lose sight of things.
Lose sight of what?
Gonzaga didn't win yesterday. Georgia lost.
Oh, no. They Gonzaga won.
All right. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But we got Colorado State, Memphis, and I don't know what these two guys are about to say. I have a sneaky suspicion that Colorado State's going to be the quote-unquote fake sharp play of the day here. These fake sharps love Colorado State. They're obsessed with them. Memphis is the better team. Penny Hardaway is becoming the most disrespected coach in the country. We're laying.
Memphis isn't the better team.
Yes, they are.
No.
And
even with Hunter, they're not the better team. Stop it.
All right, sweet. Put it up then. I'll put Rams up.
I already did. It was the second bet I made of the tournament. I'm not even worried about it.
Cool. I'm putting up Memphis.
So I'm just saying that you can say all that stuff, but Memphis is not a better basketball team straight up, let alone without Tyrese Hunter. So that's just blasphemy. They might win today, but I'm just saying they're not the better basketball team. So I bet Colorado State because I've been betting them for 2 weeks now. They continue to cover. That's just what they do. I faded them, I think, one time against Boise State in the Mountain West Championship. But besides that, they've been an absolute cash cow. They lost to Utah State in the middle of February. They had a 3-game stretch where they lost to Utah State and New Mexico at the beginning of February. And since then, they absolutely flipped a switch, and they haven't lost since then. Is Memphis the best competition that they've played since then? Maybe. I mean, sure. But I would argue that Boise State's just as good as Memphis or around that area. Utah State as well. New Mexico is another one that I think is just around that Memphis tier as well. So Memphis not having Tyrese Hunter, I think, is a big deal. But again, I think that Colorado State's just as good as Memphis. And I think that they have especially offensively. And then defensively, without Tyrese Hunter and a Memphis team that turns the ball over a ton, there's a ton of advantages for Colorado State. All of that said, I wish I was on Memphis because I know that the absolute world is on Colorado State. I don't see any Memphis tickets. It's just like the same thing I said about Creighton yesterday. I don't care what the numbers is. Find 5 tickets that have Memphis on them, and I'll change my bet. I just don't see it. So I did bet Colorado State early. I'm not happy about it.
Well, as far as our poll, we're about split. So there's definitely a lot of people betting Memphis here.
Yeah, there is.
But all the fake sharps are coming out of hibernation, crawling out of their caves to take this Colorado State Rams team to throw dirt on the name of Penny Hardaway. They're all in. All on the East Coast, the West Coast, everyone. All these fake sharps on Colorado State. Memphis is the play. Scoop, are you with me?
No, I'm fading Butch McCrae. Another Mountain West team I'm going to grab. I know Mountain West, you saw the Utah State game yesterday. I get it. They're not winning in the first round. They suck in the tournament, but I would say this is an upset pick, but Colorado State opened at 2.5-point favorites. I think this is great seeding by the committee here. I truly feel like Colorado State is the better team, like Toast said. Memphis runs at a fast pace, but they don't really do it well. I know Memphis has great scorers. The issue is I don't think the American Athletic is really good either. I mean, the Mountain West might have had the same kind of hard teams, and still Memphis was giving up 74 points a game. Colorado State steadily gotten better as the season went on. They did great in the tournament. I mean, I don't like this Memphis team. I haven't in a few years. I don't like Penny Hardaway. I got some bias against him. Don't know why. There's no reason. They played teams close all year. But Memphis played teams like UTSA, Wichita State, Rice. They had all single digits wins there, but they also lost to Temple, Wichita State. They lost to Arkansas State. It's not exactly putting any team away. Clifford on Colorado State has worked his way up to a lottery pick, I think. I think Clifford can match up with Haggerty in terms of scoring. Ken Evans has had an awesome tournament with Memphis not playing any defense. I think that continues here. He's a great scorer. Memba can also match up well with Danger down low. I don't see this as being a mismatch anywhere, really, for Colorado State. So I guess I'll take the public favorite here, which is also an underdog seating-wise. So, yeah, I'm taking Colorado State.
All right. Let's talk about a game that should come down to the wire.
Spanky, my bracket's at 100% because I didn't fill one out. So still 100%.
Toast hates brackets and March Madness and fun and friendship.
No, I just don't like the bracket part because people fill out 17 brackets and they're like,
I hate that.
Look what I did.
My 16th bracket's doing pretty well, actually, out of all of them.
Yeah, if you want to make brackets because everybody's giving away stuff on different websites, that's fine. But don't come show me that you picked an upset pick.
Well, I didn't do it this year, but I used to fill out the brackets on all the websites. But I would fill out the same. I would fill out the same exact bracket on every single one. The people that fill out like it's on a brackets like Scoop. You know what Scoop said in the chat yesterday? I wanted to slap him. He said around like 5 p.m. He goes, of my 17 brackets, 5 of them are still perfect.
I didn't say 17. First of all,
I think you said
like
17.
6, all right.
No, you
and
said
one of them was perfect. Yes, but I mean, why not? You fill out 6 to get $1 billion or whatever it is. Who knows? It's like playing a lottery.
Fair.
True or false? Toast. Mount St. Mary's is live. You got to take the 32 and a half, right? Kind of like Alabama State yesterday.
Took the words out of my mouth. Took the words out of my mouth. I don't know. I don't know what you're going to get from Cooper Flagg. Not trying to make a case that he's going to play bad or anything, but if let's just say Duke is up by 20 with 10 minutes to go in the second half, does Cooper Flagg stay on the floor? I mean, I don't know. That's a question I don't know, but I have a hard time believing he does. John Shire is kind of a dog, though, so you never really know. I think that he doesn't really get a lot of respect for Duke, but that kid, as a high school player, he was an absolute dog. So I have a hard time believing he's just going to roll over here. But Mount St. Mary's is playing well, and they already have a game under their belt. And like Kyle said, we saw with Alabama State, playing with a little bit of confidence does a lot of wonders for you. So is Duke very, very good? Yes, but is 32.5 points a lot of points? Yeah, and if you're not going to get Cooper Flagg the whole game, I would take the points with Mount St. Mary's.
I mean, I kind of don't care about, you were mentioning how Mount St. Mary's is playing well. I feel like this number is not about Mount St. Mary's, whether they're playing well or not. I mean, Duke could beat this team by 40 points if they want to. I think if you're going to place this bet, it's more on the back of like, Duke's not going to care about covering this number when they're up 28 points with 8 minutes to go. And meanwhile, Mount St. Mary's, their tournament's over. 8 minutes to go of their season. There's probably seniors. They're still playing. When Duke has already mentally moved on to the next round, Mount St. Mary's is like, this is it, guys. This is it. That's what I was saying for the Alabama State. It's not necessarily, Mount St. Mary's is playing well. It's the last 8 minutes of this game, one team is going to be playing hard and the other team isn't. That was my that was my rationale behind picking Alabama State plus the points yesterday. I wish I betted. I didn't. Scoop, Mount, are you on the Mount?
I was confident in Houston covering the number. That was a great bet yesterday. Just to be a contrarian, I'm going to go with Duke covering a massive spread. I didn't bet this game. St. Mary's was the 6th seed in the Mid-Atlantic for that tournament. Shouldn't be close to this number, especially after playing 2 days ago. But they look good against American, but also American lost their best player like 4 minutes into the game. He was 40% of their offensive output in the season.
Great point, Scoop. I didn't even think about that.
Cooper Flagg's obviously back, but like I agree with you guys. You said I'm not sure what he's going to look like. I don't know how much he's going to play. I'm just banking on either way. They're 256th in the nation in points scoring per game, 135th offensive efficiency. Meanwhile, Duke fifth in opponents' points per game, and first in opponents' shooting efficiency this year. I know St. Mary's has a good defense, but I think Duke's a different animal. So I will lay the 32.5, but there's absolutely no way I'm betting this game. If anything, I would probably take Mount St. Mary's in 32.5, but just to be a contrarian on the show, I'm going to take Duke. So
Scoop says, I'm going to be a contrarian here and take Duke over Mount St. Mary's.
Yes, really going on a limb. Really, I agree. Mount St. Mary's is scrappy, though, feisty.
Everybody asking where Trevor is. He's at his local watering hole trying to find the remote.
Oh,
he's still waking up. I haven't heard from Trevor in a while.
Well, Trevor told me he let us know like a week ago. He's like, guys, the Thursday, Friday of the tournament, I'm not available.
You got to respect that.
Yeah. So I think Trevor is at his local bar. He does like a 72-hour bender for this. And like I say that like with a smile on my face, but I'm not joking or I think that's
he's dead serious.
Yeah. So yeah, he was commenting in the Discord. It was very clear he was about 9 hours deep into this.
These freaking humps.
Right.
I love it.
Toast, I gotta say, I'm a little worried here.
About what? Because about your boys?
About my boys. Everyone's taking them, and Vanderbilt. It's not like Vanderbilt's a bad team.
Kyle.
I kind of want to bet Vandy.
I mean, yeah.
I do. I agree with you in everything as far as I know that I haven't bet this game yet either. Or no, I did. I put St. Mary's in a money line parlay with Oregon. That's what I did.
Okay, so if the line was 2.5, I'm in. But we're talking about winning by 2 possessions here with a team that's based on playing defense. I don't know. I feel like you got to bet Vandy at this number. And then you add on the fact, not that this should influence your decision, but you add on the fact that everyone seems to be taking St. Mary's. Everyone has St. Mary's in their Elite 8. Like, oh, yeah, man.
I think another question that when you're betting this game, you have to ask yourself is how much you put into how good the SEC is compared to all the other conferences. Because, I mean, Vanderbilt's won 3 games in a month. But, I mean, but their losses are Auburn, Tennessee, Kentucky, Arkansas, Georgia, Texas. I mean, again, a lot of teams are already in the tournament. So that's where you have to ask yourself, how much stock do you put into that? Because Vanderbilt's not winning basketball games. So they're an experienced crew. But here's another thing that I don't think that people are talking about. That the reason that I love St. Mary's, I'm a little worried that I haven't bet it yet. But Vanderbilt's one of these teams that tries to run fast and I guess not super fast, but pretty fast. They don't shoot threes and they shoot their free throws, but that's like plays into what St. Mary's wants to do. St. Mary's wants to slow this game down to an absolute crawl. Yeah, the St. Mary's defense doesn't really force turnovers, but that doesn't really matter because they rebound everything. I don't see how Vanderbilt gets their offense going here. Anything that Vanderbilt does offensively, St. Mary's can stifle with ease. I mean, Jason Edwards, I just don't understand what he's going to be able to do with this team. I mean, AJ Hoggard, you're telling me that the big guys from St. Mary's aren't gonna be able to match up inside with him with Wessels and Saxton. I memean, so like I just don't see where there's any advantage for Vanderbilt in this game. I mean, even with like St. Mary's with Mikey Lewis and Jordan Ross, I mean, I don't know who's going to guard them. It's all going to be one-on-one and stuff like that. I don't really see where there's any advantage for Vanderbilt. So I agree with you that I didn't bet this, or like I said, I have St. Mary's on a money line parlay, nothing crazy, but I didn't lay it with St. Mary's because I just didn't really see. I felt that it was kind of short actually too. I mean, now that it's 4.5, it's a little bit higher, but yeah, you can put St. Mary's up for me on the show. There's no way I would bet Vandy here in this spot. The only way I bet it is just because everybody else is on St. Mary's, but I do think that St. Mary's has a lot of advantages in this game.
It's not so much that I think St. Mary's going to lose. It's just we're talking about 4.5 points with a team that plays a slow pace, relies on its defense, and I just think this is a 1-possession game. So I'm going to bet this. I think I'm going to bet this. Scoop, are you with me? Vandy?
This is my favorite bet of the day. St. Mary's by blowout.
Oh, shit.
I love Vandy. I knew they'd be in the tournament. I thought I'd grab them in this tournament, but I think this is just a bad matchup. And before you talk about splits, I mean, the public did clean house last year. They were like 62% of the wins, and even yesterday they did great. So take that for what you will. I mean, Vanderbilt is trying to play fast. St. Mary's wants none of that shit. I know St. Mary's had a struggling offense. You just saw it against the Zags. 58-51, and that was with dominating the boards by 15. But yeah, Gonzaga's offense is better than Vandy by a considerable amount. Either way, St. Mary's is going to win the rebounding game here. They're first in the country in rebounding margin. They're a beast on the boards. And obviously, when you play them, they make teams pissed off on offense. It's not fun to watch, and really it pisses off television viewers too. It's not going to be a fun game to watch. It's not great basketball. But Vandy likes to hoist some threes. That's not happening here. St. Mary's really doesn't allow you to shoot threes. 3-point rate on defense is one of the best in the country. They're not good shooters, but with the defense they play and the ability to get the boards, they're going to get opportunity. Saxon, like Toe said, should do great in the paint. I do love Vandy. Jason Edwards is a huge piece of this team. He's the best scorer, but they rely on their guards a lot. They're not going to get their shots off from the perimeter, and the size advantage down low is for St. Mary's, even with a pretty bad offense. Haven't even mentioned my man Augustus, won WCC Player of the Year. Best defender in the conference, has the ability to score. So I'm going to take St. Mary's. It'll be an ugly, slower game. I just really like the matchup here for the Gales.
Toast, someone asked, who's the other team you have paired with St. Mary's in the Moneyline Parlay?
The Ducks. The Oregon Ducks.
Good pick.
But the first comment I saw was, I gotta find it, but it was like, I have 6 moneyline parlays and St. Mary's is in every single one of them. I was like, damn it.
Let it ride. Someone said, Sauce, how was that round robin you did yesterday? I think I took 4 L's. I needed 12, and I got 8. So it was, to answer your question, not very close. I did place another one today.
Well, it could have been a lot worse. I mean, it's not like you lost your complete ass.
Oh, no, I had a great day yesterday.
Parlay.
No, I meant just on the round robin. It could have been a lot worse. And
man,
13 game parlay, and I lost Louisville. So that's great.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. But no, I mean, the NBA is going so well that, like, I can afford to have some fun with the March Madness.
Can we not talk about it? Because you've been a kind of a cash cow, and we just don't need to have to talk about it.
Nothing,
keep rolling, dude.
Nothing can stop me, bro. We can
I don't
talk
even
about
tell
it.
you what I'm not even telling you what I tail and whatnot. I'm just like, oh, okay, cool.
Have a good time.
Matter of fact, you're in one of those modes right now where I just listen to what you say and I can tell what you want to bet or what you don't want to bet. And even those games where you're like, I didn't bet it, I'm like, okay, I'll go bet this. Cash.
I'll throw a dart.
I mean, Wilmington plus 800 looked good for a while.
I know.
If he wasn't cocky, he would have so much more money in his bank
There's
account.
no correlation between being cocky. Like that's a bunch of bullshit.
No, there is a direct correlation because
Karma.
your bank account would have, if you would take the points as well, your bank account would have significantly more money in it.
Dude, I'm a sharpshooter. What do you want me to do?
I'm just telling you.
North Carolina, Ole Miss.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott.
Ole Miss is the play here. I'll come right out and say it. I hate this North Carolina team. I hate all the comments that came in when I took San Diego State. I hate all of you that are clicking North Carolina in the poll right now, which is 75% of you. I hate this team. The refs helped North Carolina in the last one.
I mean, I got lucky. I agree with the North Carolina. I'm not going to say I wasn't lucky.
The amount of people that didn't realize that was a bit we were doing, shocking.
If you wrote a serious comment, thank you for making my day. When we said that North Carolina got lucky.
They lost by 30 points. It wasn't the refs. We were joking. But
These guys.
We're laying points with this bum-ass North Carolina team to an SEC program, and everyone's doing it. I hate North Carolina. There's some personal bias involved. This isn't a historic thing. I haven't always hated North Carolina. I hate this North Carolina team, and I hate everyone in the comments talking about this North Carolina team. So, yeah, maybe this wager is placed out of hatred. But
how do you think I feel? I said 3 weeks ago this team was going to make the tournament, bet it, cashed it. I faded them 2 times, and the world's like, oh, he's going to fade North Carolina again. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
You were one of the people saying North Carolina's on the come up.
I know. I'm like the one person in the world that did believe in this team. It is all good though. Ole Miss though for me. I'm curious to hear what Scoop has to say. I will give you my reasons, but
yeah. The chat is a bunch of sharps. I'm gonna ride North Carolina. Kyle and Toast, bunch of fake sharps here. Think they great. The Ole Miss and the SEC, wonderful. Ole Miss is tough. San Diego State has a better defense than them. Offensively, sure, a huge difference. The motivation's there for Carolina. They're an extremely great three-point shooting team. I'm just kidding. They're really not. But in Dayton, they were unstoppable. RJ Davis was unstoppable. The big thing is this is his 11th tournament game. He has experience. I know Ole Miss will pressure more than San Diego State did. They were awesome, obviously, at forced turnovers all year. They have a toughness that San Diego State didn't have. North Carolina, still one quad one win this year. No, San Diego State was not a quad one win. Whoever is saying it was, they were not. Please, it was a quad two. Listen, I know I'll keep riding Carolina. They're slight favorites against Ole Miss. I do think this is a line is disrespectful for Ole Miss. I agree. Ole Miss should definitely be favored here. Overall, they are a better team. They have a bunch of seniors, a bunch of experience. They have a better coach. Malik Dia has a great down low game. I know North Carolina is streaky. They're scoring in bunches, and really they can outscore any team when they play like they do. You just saw it, obviously. And really, Ole Miss doesn't have a huge front court. Both of these teams rely on their guards. Carolina's only 2 losses in their last 11 were against Duke. They're clicking at the right time. So while Ole Miss has the better team, I'm going to ride the big Mo with Carolina, which Kyle hates, momentum. I love North Carolina here. I'm going to ride the public 95%. I don't even care. Let's go with North Carolina.
What the fuck does that? How do I hate momentum?
Didn't you hate momentum? I remember like a couple years ago, like momentum's not a thing. Like you're just a bad team or you're not.
I was probably just making fun of you on something. I don't remember saying that.
You do like feistiness and grit. So.
I also make fun of you often, so I don't remember saying I hate momentum. It's basic physics, mass times acceleration.
Yeah.
It's
basically the law of physics.
I don't hate physics. Toast, tell us about Ole Miss.
Ole Miss is a team that I have going kind of far in this tournament. I think they profile very well. I think that people are really sleeping on the genius of Chris Beard and how good of a coach he really is.
He's really physical, outside and inside of his life.
Inappropriate.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Okay. But you have an Ole Miss team here that I again, one of those situations where I feel like their record is much better than they say they have. I mean, if you take a look, their last three losses, 2 of them to Auburn, 1 of them to Florida. I mean, are you really going to fault them for that? I mean, again, if they win one of those teams or win one of those games, everybody probably looks at this team a little bit different. But there's a few things that I really like about this team. One, we can trust them defensively. There's no question about that. Chris Beard and his no middle defense should give North Carolina some problems. The reason that I think that I really like Ole Miss here today is that we just saw North Carolina go absolutely bonkers from deep their last game. They've actually been playing really well from deep. If they can do that here today, everybody can have my money, or the books can have my money. But I have a hard time believing they do that against a Mississippi team that, like I said, has been coached well. They don't have a really size advantage, but again, that's a positive thing because North Carolina is not a big team either. But the one thing that I love about this Ole Miss team is they are one of the most experienced teams in the country, and I think that plays a lot here in a game like this today, especially in a first-round game. So I know everybody loves North Carolina. I get it. But I do think that this is a really, really bad matchup for them. Not to mention the fact that Ole Miss is one of those teams that does not turn the ball over, so they should have multiple chances on offense, just like North Carolina will. So even if you want to start try to poke holes in what Ole Miss has done, offensively, they're not definitely as good as they are defensively, but they don't turn the ball over, and they're actually pretty damn efficient, and they can hit their free throws. So, I like Ole Miss here today. I'm kind of pissed off I missed the 2.5, but I will be betting them at 1.5. I thought the line would go up.
Just to add to what Toast says, I agree with everything he said. That's why North Carolina is winning by 4.5 points.
I don't need the points. I'm taking Ole Miss on the money line.
Wow, you're such a sharp, not taking that 1.5.
I know. I also live dangerously. Grand Canyon, Maryland.
You know what? I'm not going to take them either. I'm going straight up in with you.
No need.
You guys are
Don't need
silly. You guys are silly. Kyle hates science.
Yes, instead of I hate science.
Damn, it's only plus 105 now in the world's bet in North Carolina. Interesting.
Yeah, it sounds like you need a North Carolina ass tattoo, like the Oral Roberts one. Someone said.
Oh shit!
Come on, put your money up. Let's go. Say,
I'm not, dude. I'm never doing another tattoo thing again. That wasn't even supposed to be. I literally said that jokingly.
It was a 15 too, right? I would think Oral Roberts was a 15.
Yeah. Well, it was the second round though. It was a
Right.
They were like I think they were like the 13, but they were playing Ohio State, who was the 2 later in the tournament. And I didn't really. I said that like joking, and then I realized later that like when Oral Roberts was winning, that like reading the tweet, you couldn't tell that it was joking, and it was too late to be like, guys, I was joking because the game was going on. Yeah, I'm not doing that
nice
shit again.
Too. I like looking at it.
Jesus Christ. Grand Canyon, Maryland. Terps toast?
I think that's the only way that I would look at it, to be honest. I just don't think Grand Canyon's good. That's all. Like, Tyrone Grant Foster was supposed to be their best player. I know that he's dealt with a little bit of injuries and whatnot, but even before the injuries, he really wasn't anything special. Again, he started to play well in the WAC tournament and what have you, but you have a Maryland team that's not only coming off of a game they probably felt like they should have won against Michigan in that Big Ten tournament, that can really play defense really, really well. And again, they're more experienced. They're bigger. I don't know. I don't really feel comfortable laying this many points with Maryland, but at the same time, I truly think Grand Canyon's really, really bad. So there's just no way for me to get there with them.
Yeah, I don't understand. You're saying you don't want to lay this many points with Maryland. I'm saying, why is it only 10.5? I've seen Grand Canyon.
That's part of the reason why I don't want to.
I've seen Grand Canyon struggle with the likes of Seattle. Like,
yeah,
this is the Terps. I don't understand why it's only 10.5. Shouldn't this be like 15? I don't understand why this seems way too short. I know Maryland's not the best team in the country or anything, but they're certainly a top-tier Big Ten program. So why is it only 10.5 to Grand Canyon?
You said it best. Ken Palm has this 14. That's the only reason that I haven't bet Maryland, because I feel like I'm missing something.
Scoop, are we missing something?
No, I agree. I'm very not on Grand Canyon. I think Maryland's one of the best starting fives in the country. Terrible bench, yeah, but I love them here. Grand Canyon's on a roll, but they were a popular pick in the tournament last year when they won. It seems like a popular one again. I love the Crab Five. Every one of these starters can score. Grand Canyon can try to pressure one player, but it's going to be a mistake. They're going to out-rebound you. Julian Reese, Derek Queen. Defense has been great all year. Three-point defense has been great all year. And with their defense, that doesn't really miss a beat either. Grand Canyon will try to push and bring the ball down low, but with Maryland, with Queen and Reese, like I said, they're tough on the inside. They held opponents to 47% from the field from inside the arc. Strong defensive rebounding rate. They should force a lot of turnovers for really a turnover-prone Grand Canyon. So yeah, Grand Canyon is one of the worst ball handling teams in this tournament. They also haven't played anyone in the top 50 in terms of offensive production. I know Grand Canyon has size, but they're just not as talented. I think Maryland going to come out strong. Lost in that buzzer beater to Michigan. I am not a big fan of Kevin Willard when he was here at Seton Hall, but he has a team that doesn't need to coach much. I really like this whole team. I think they're going to have a deep run here.
Scoop shaving the beard was definitely polarizing. People have thoughts. Organic.
Well, I mean, also my beard doesn't connect, so that doesn't fucking help.
Oh yeah, it looks terrible when it's there.
It's fucking miserable. I'd rather look like a pedophile than have that beard.
He said Scoop shaved during March Madness. I'm telling every single bet of his, he's focused.
Fully focused, man. Money's on my mind.
Somebody said Grand Canyon's really bad and they're in the tournament, ? Yeah. Welcome to the tournament. Welcome to the show, bud.
Speaking of that, let's talk Norfolk State.
That's a
Plus
great one.
9,900 on the money line.
You should do that, Scoop.
Plus 9,900?
Hell yeah.
Florida's a cheat code. I didn't even think Tennessee played that poorly in that SEC championship game. Dude, I will say a couple of those fouls on Lanier down the stretch, what the hell kind of calls were that? There was one where the Florida guy, he was off the ball. He came across an off-ball screen, literally tripped over his own feet, went down, and they called Lanier for his fourth foul, and he had to go sit on the bench. So I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know why I brought that up. Go ahead, Toast.
Clearly you were angry.
I was angry about that. It was a bullshit call.
Florida a pass. Like Kyle said, they are. I agree with him. They are a cheat code. I'm not going to try to get in front of it today. I'm not going to bet this game, but there's no chance I can get to Norfolk State.
Yeah, I mean, Florida's the hottest team in the country. In my opinion, Florida looks like head and shoulders better than everyone else in the country, at least right now. Obviously, season goes like this, but right now, I thought Tennessee, like I said, played pretty well, and Florida was like comfortably better.
Yeah.
Scoop, Norfolk.
No, actually, this is the other 1 seed I bet. I bet Florida. I really like the bet. There's really not much to talk about. Florida should steamroll. In one of my brackets, I do have Florida as the champion. My favorite bracket. I think they have the easiest road to the Final Four. Personally, at first I was looking at team total for Florida in this game, but I think it was at 91.5 or something. I think this game kind of gets out of the way pretty early, so maybe the starters sit. Not that it'll matter much, since I think the backups can compete with Norfolk State as well. Norfolk State's not a good team. They should have lost that championship game. There's not an area of that game that interests me most at all to take Norfolk. Offense, defense, rebounding, steals, everything favors Florida by a wide margin. And let's be real, they just dominated the SEC tournament against the best competition. The issue I see with Norfolk State isn't, they're not going to be able to stop Florida defensively at all. Even when they miss, Florida's going to get the rebound. They're averaging over 30% offensive rebounding percentage, and Norfolk State doesn't rebound at all, giving up the 30% offensive rebounding percentage. So either way, Norfolk's going to go down early. They'll have to start launching threes, which also is something they're not good at. They're 222nd in the country. They're only hitting 33% from three. I think this is going to be a dog walking 40-point one, kind of like the Houston game. This should be a long game for Norfolk.
Yeah, obviously I agree. I don't get how Auburn's laying 32.5 and Duke's laying 31.5, but Florida, who's, I don't know. I feel like Florida is more capable of blowing out Norfolk State. Granted, I don't know the teams they're playing. Maybe Norfolk State's slightly better, but Florida looks unstoppable, dude.
Also, to the comment that said my tan's gone, she's still here, baby. Don't you worry.
He's just peeling where you don't see it. That's all. You sent me steam room pics. What do you want me to do?
Yo, you know I haven't been in the steam room for 3 days.
That's true. You're back.
No, we don't know that, nor do we care about your steam room experiences.
Oh, I wouldn't say nobody cares, Kyle.
Actually, I did notice there are people dying to talk to him about this. He shares a steam room picture in the Discord. I'm like, why'd you share that? And then people engage in, what are your thoughts on the steam room?
Well, when you sign up for the Kyle Kirms network, I know it's $30 a month. It's not only you get our picks, you get perks. It's not just service. You get a full service steam room picks. You get some things from me if you want to sign up. So.
I'd pay $30 a month not to get those pictures. Scoop, Troy, Kentucky.
I don't have a bet. I'm gonna grab Troy. Tatum Conneray was the Sun Belt Player of the Year, Sun Belt Tournament Most Valuable Player. He can compete. He can score. He can also dish the ball. He hounds defense. He's actually third in steals in the country. All around solid player. Tatum Conneray. So the issue with Troy is they did play 3 tough games already this season. Arkansas, Houston, Oregon. They lost by 16 plus in all 3. Kentucky's a weird team all year. They're just not very consistent. 3 of those losses were to Alabama and lost to Clemson, Texas, Ole Miss, Vandy. This team gets beat, obviously, because of their defense. I know this isn't a high spread. I'm probably dumb for taking a flyer on Troy. In their past 2 trips to the NCAA tournament as a 3-seed or better, Kentucky's 0-2 to open the tournament with losses to 15-seed St. Peter's, represent New Jersey, and last year to 14-seed Oakland. Yes, Lamont Butler is going to be back. It helps their ball handling, just overall playmaking a ton. But I'm going to bank on some rust here. Either way, Troy is going to, is one of the better offensive rebounding teams in the country. They're 11th in offensive rebounding. They'll have to win the battles down low and get to the line like they have been doing. Got to be honest, didn't bet this, but I think it's worth it to take a flyer. It's not like Kentucky's been great all season, so go Troy Trojans.
I picked Troy to win this game in my bracket, in my only bracket. Did you hear what Scoop said before? He goes, "I have this in my favorite bracket."
I was dying. Somebody John Bender from the Discord wrote 17 favorite brackets.
Yeah, this is my favorite bracket.
The favorite one is one Florida wins.
Oh, the one that's in the best position after the first day. That's your favorite? No shit.
After looking at it after day 1, this is now my favorite bracket.
Yeah, I had to move it over to my favorite.
Exactly, and he will have a different favorite bracket tomorrow. So yeah, I picked Troy to win this game, but I don't really know a whole lot about Troy ball. So I wish I can give you some cool, intricate reason. I don't have one. Toast convinced me to bet Troy. Oh, no. Toast is weird with Kentucky. Yeah.
I couldn't do that, buddy. I couldn't do that. Thomas Dowd is about to get absolutely eaten alive by Amari Williams. That's the first and foremost. And everybody else, Troy has actually played decent, especially the last couple months. And Conaway, again, a really good player. There's no question about that. But at the same time, Troy does have a turnover problem themselves. And anything that they can do rebounding wise, I think Kentucky can match it. Not to mention the fact that Kentucky has guys that can just absolutely drain three balls, and Troy cannot do that. So if Kentucky, as long as Kentucky's just not completely ice cold, I think they control this game. And then the big thing for me too is that Troy, one of the least experienced teams in the country, Kentucky, one of the most experienced teams in the country, who just got done playing in the hardest conference in the country in the SEC. Kentucky should win this game by 15 plus.
I feel like, okay, so yeah, you have a thing for Kentucky, but I feel like you've never taken them laying these big numbers. And it's because they fumble the bag.
Yeah, and I didn't bet them here today, but that's my opinion on the game. I don't, unless...
You love this team, but you didn't bet them. That's basically taking Troy.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, got to be careful.
Scoop, did you bet this?
No.
Damn.
No.
I want to take this.
If you bet Troy, I'll bet Kentucky. I'll put $100 on Kentucky right now. You want to put the belt up?
There's no belt in a Troy Kentucky game. I don't think
there is no belt. It's a beltless competition.
It's like the WWF when they had like what's the middle belt? It's not even that one. It's
the
like
Intercontinental,
the European belt. It's the European one.
Yeah, I remember like Bret Hart won the Intercontinental belt, and I was like, yeah. Then you get a little older, like, what the fuck is an Intercontinental belt? Why does anyone want it?
Yeah.
And at that point, they only fought in like the U.S., right? So
you know what
continents are we fighting on?
The time of professional wrestling where I started to go out was when there were so many belts. There was like the hardcore belt, and it was
that was like Mankind. Yeah, that's what I watched.
Yeah, like Hardcore Holly had it, and like you had.
Oh, he died, right?
I'll never forget watching with Wyatt, and
I think they all died.
24/7 belt, and some guy won it because he was like in a grocery store or something, and
that's awesome.
It was so bad, but it wasn't like good grocery store content like Stone Cold Steve Austin and stuff. It was like super cheesy. It was.
And I feel like the British Bulldog always had the European belt. No matter what, it was like, oh, British Bulldog. Yeah, he was a European one. That makes sense.
Who the hell's this competition? They made the belt for him. New Mexico, Marquette. There's a lot of fake sharps taking New Mexico here.
And put Marquette up.
I'm going to. I was going to give my spiel first. So...
Exactly.
Fuck New Mexico. One. How about that?
Valid.
Big East.
All you got to say is Mountain West teams are terrible. They never cover. Marquette's the easy one.
The Mountain West teams, betting Mountain West in the tournament is not a good decision. There's data to back this up.
There is. Not going to lie.
Yeah. I wasn't just spewing shit. It's data to back out. Don't bet Mountain West in the tournament. But still, the fakest of sharps will find reasons to. Scoop, are you with me?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep riding the Mountain West. Mountain West resurgence this tournament. I don't think this is really backing New Mexico. I think it's going against the Big East. Big East has had a really bad year, and Marquette started off well, but the last month, outside of the top 50 in offense and defense, they're gonna struggle with New Mexico's pace. I think Marquette has not done well in transition, and Donovan Dent I think is going to take advantage of a weaker Marquette team down low. Or just in general, I mean. He can attack the rim, and as great as Cam Jones is offensively, he can be taken advantage of defensively. Chase Ross, Stevie Mitchell's have both lost a step towards the end of the year. And on the other side, New Mexico's defense is one of the better teams in the country. They're great at turnovers. Not saying they're going to be great at forcing Marquette to turn the ball over. Marquette's actually kept the ball well. And just most importantly, they're great at pushing teams to mid-range shots and contested threes. The issue with Marquette is they're 245th in three-point percentage. They have not been a good shooting team at all. If they do get inside, Amsel and Joseph should be really solid in the paint. And Joseph has height on Marquette. He should be able to handle Marquette's front court. This team has a Patino in charge too now, man. You got to back the Patino blood in the first round. It's in their bones. I feel it down in my plums. New Mexico's going to win this game. I think then we're going to win it outright.
It's a bad pick.
Probably.
Toast, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. Can't really add too much. It's just the fact that Marquette, the only wins they've had since the month of February has started is DePaul, Seton Hall, Providence, and Georgetown. And somehow, some way, they miraculously beat, in a miracle, they beat Xavier in the Big East tournament by 2. Somehow, some way. I still don't understand how that happened. And then they got absolutely throttled by St. John's. I don't think they're going to get throttled here today. I just don't. I think this game should have been more of a pick 'em, maybe 1.5, 2 max. But at 3.5, I got New Mexico at 4 when it opened. I just thought that was too much. For as good as Cam Jones has been, the games that he has, huge games as far as putting up, 24 points or what have you. Those are the games they lose. I mean, he put up decent numbers against Xavier and they won that game. But all their other games that he's putting up 32 points, 21 points against UConn and St. John's and Villanova, they're losing all those games. So if Cam Jones is the only source of offense for this team, Marquette's probably going to lose this game. Not to mention on the other side that he has a New Mexico team that's one of the best defenses in the country, top 20 at least in every major category you would want. And he has a point guard in Donovan Dent that can match up with him extremely well. So I don't know who on Marquette guards Nelly Jr. Joseph. I mean, I guess him and Joplin
whoever, dude. He plays in the Mountain West.
I guess him and Joplin go one-on-one, but at the same time, I really like the size and the experience for New Mexico against this Marquette team that we like Shaka as a dog. We don't like Shaka as a favorite. And like I said, if Cam Jones has somebody to match up with, I don't know who else. If David Joplin or Chase Ross decides to show up and beat me, so be it. But I just have a hard time believing that happens. Chase Ross hasn't done anything in weeks. New Mexico wins this game.
I'm betting this. This is just crazy. The Big East looks excellent. The Mountain West sucks. We saw what happened with Utah State yesterday. There's just a discrepancy in conferences here, and 3.5 is not enough. You're gonna need a bigger boat, New Mexico.
I need a bigger boat. Aren't they all in the Pac-12 next year, or is that the year after?
Year after.
I don't know what the Mountain
West
is completely different.
I don't know if New Mexico is part of that. Wow.
I don't know. Like 6 of the Mountain West teams are going to the Pac-12.
Yeah. Not Air Force.
No, they don't deserve the Pac-12.
I don't think the Pac-12 deserves Air Force.
Oh, okay.
Akron plus 14.5. Arizona minus 14.5. Look, Scoop's been very vocal over the last couple of years. He's a Zips guy. He's a Zips guy through and through. He identifies as a Zips guy. He bets the Zips during the fall, during Maction. He's a Zip enthusiast. So we turn to the Zip enthusiast. Are you taking the Zips in their time of need in the big tournament against the Arizona Wildcats?
Yeah, going to stick with Akron. As I said, I am a huge Zip head. I've been down on Arizona for most of the year. Caleb Love came alive when it mattered in the finals of the Big 12 tournament, but I still think they would have lost to Texas Tech if they were healthy. Plus, if there's one team that could lose in the first round every year, I feel like it's Arizona. Likeliness of Arizona winning outright, of Akron winning outright, isn't great. They're obviously 14.5-point dogs for a reason, but I feel like they're capable of being knocked out. Why not? Caleb Love is going to Caleb Love, the most inconsistent shooter in college basketball, I feel. One game he'll go 12 for 17, and the next he'll shoot 2 for 14. And if Love is off, Akron's going to stay in this game. Akron's going to hit their outside shots, and if they do, Arizona's going to have some problems. They just gave up, not just gave up, but they gave up 100 points to Arizona State, gave up 96 points to BYU, plus Akron plays at a fast pace. When they do hit their shots, it's hard to keep up since they're 13th in average possessions per game. They're a solid squad rebounding. Nate and Tavari Johnson should get going here. They led the MAC in points by a pretty wide margin, this whole team. Wildcats, listen, they're just giving up 72 points a game on season, and the Zips are shooting 47% from the field this season. I really do think Akron can keep this close with their offense. And until Caleb Love can show that he can come alive in the tournament, I don't want to back Arizona at all. So, yeah, zip up. Let's go Zips. Akron all the way. Love LeBron James. Let's go.
I really like the energy Scoop was putting down there. And someone asked if I I really have an Oral Roberts tattoo, and I'll put it in the freaking.
Oh no, just go on his Twitter. Type in.
So yeah, just type in Kyle Kirms Oral Roberts on Twitter.
And on Kyle's, and you'll see his ass.
Just type in Kyle Kirms Oral Roberts, and it got a lot of hits.
I have it personally as a fat head right on my wall. But I look at it, I touch it, like I do this to the tattoo every night.
I've gotten accused of having a fake tattoo several times where I've.
Oh no, it's there.
Yeah, and I've had to prove it. I like what Scoop was putting down there with the zips. I'm not a zip enthusiast. I don't identify as one, but I recognize good energy. And yeah, let's zip up. Caleb Love, inconsistent shooter. I was feeling it. Scoop sounded authentic, confident. Toast, are we zipping?
No. But can I just say really quickly, somebody wrote, "No Trevor, I'm out." And then like 2 seconds later, somebody wrote, "Trevor's passed out to a busted bracket."
Probably not inaccurate.
Oh, that was so good. Just the one thing that I have to say back to Scoop is that when does Caleb Love ever not play well in the NCAA tournament? I'd like to know
today,
because this is just when he.
I got your back, Scoop. Today, that's when.
this is when he just kind of shines and goes off.
I see stuff in the future, man.
I agree that as far as the Texas Tech game in the Big 12 tournament, that they probably could have lost that game. But at the same time, the shots that he was making was absolutely insane. I really like Arizona here today. I don't agree with, or I don't disagree with Scoop and Akron and the Love, but I just feel like it's going to be a little bit too much. You have Arizona off of a loss, which they've been really good in those situations so far, obviously all year. They've played one of the hardest schedules in the country, a top 5 schedule in the country. They're one of the most experienced teams in the country. Akron has absolutely no experience. Akron has no height. And honestly, I think Arizona's not going to really worry about the 3-ball. I think they're just going to absolutely throttle them inside. I just think it's going to be too much. I think Arizona's on a mission right now. I think Tommy Lloyd has this team finally playing the way that he wants to. Again, I know that the Kansas loss looks kind of bad, but at the same time, I do think they're playing a lot better than people give them credit for. So, yeah, I like Arizona a lot today.
Screw that. Zips up.
Sad, man. Sad zips. Man.
You hate to see someone go down a dark path.
Can't believe the hate for the zips.
I didn't hate.
No, I wouldn't call it hate. Disrespect, maybe.
Yeah,
a little bit. I definitely don't respect the zip.
What have the zips done to earn anyone's respect?
It's Ohio hate.
All right.
Ohio's for
Interesting.
lovers, man. No, it's Virginia, right?
So we know Toast is going to take Oklahoma.
Sooner.
He loves the Sooners, and he thinks he's super smart when he takes the Sooners.
They pay me out, bro.
He gets a glow in his eye when he takes Oklahoma. So go ahead, Toast. Tell us about your bum-ass Oklahoma bet.
Well, first and foremost, I think that I think it's pretty clear that UConn shouldn't be laying multiple possessions to anybody. I mean, what has UConn done to be laying this points to anybody on a neutral? I mean, beating Villanova, Seton Hall, Providence, Georgetown, Creighton, I guess, looks pretty good. That was a lucky win. Marquette, I guess. I just don't understand where we're looking at this UConn team and thinking that they're a good basketball team. You have an Oklahoma team that, yeah, I will give you that they didn't really play well to start the year, but at the end of the year, they really started playing well, having decent wins against Georgia, Texas, Missouri, all those teams in the tournament, Mississippi State, another tournament team as well. They lost to Kentucky, Kentucky twice and Ole Miss, but again, they lost to Kentucky by 2 points in 2 games. I mean, each game they lost by 1, so it could have went either way. And if they beat Kentucky in one of those games or both those games, I think that we're looking at this Oklahoma team a completely different way. And as a matter of fact, if they beat Kentucky both those games, I think this game's closer to a pick than anything. So the one thing that I also love about Oklahoma is they've been tested all year. They play one of the hardest strengths of schedule in the country. I think they match up well. And honestly, I think that Jeremiah Fears is a lot better than Liam McNeely, and I think that I don't know who's going to guard Fears, but I think that he could probably go off. So he's went off the last couple nights, and I have a hard time believing they're not going to try to feed him the ball here tonight too. So he's definitely an NBA talent. I don't really know if McNeely's an NBA talent. We can argue about that at another time, but I feel like Oklahoma's played a better schedule with an NBA talent, and I just don't feel like UConn is that much better than anybody else. So Boomer Sooner for me, probably one of my more favorite bets of the day. I've just been waiting. This line hasn't moved, so I've just been waiting. Bet Rivers popped a 6 up, so I was just waiting to see if I could get a 6. But Oklahoma plus 5.5, Oklahoma on the money line plus 205, no questions.
The money line as well.
Oh, if you're playing a dog at 5.5, you got to play the money line in March.
Well, you don't gotta.
I don't. I honestly think I'm hitting like 80% of them. If I cover, I hit the money line. I'd have to go back and look, but it's a very high rate.
That's sweet.
Thank you.
Damn it, Scoop. I think he's right.
Yeah, I mean, I know you're a UConn alum, but I don't know how you could realistically back UConn here. I get the history. I get the resume of Hurley. He's obviously a great coach, but his team just isn't good. It's kind of like Bill Self in Kansas. He can be a good coach. This team's dog shit, though. So, not saying Oklahoma is great by any means, but UConn has shown me nothing all year to lay 5.5 or now 6 on some books. Oklahoma has had a pretty miserable time down the stretch. I agree, but they did finish 4-3. Those 3 losses were to Kentucky twice, Ole Miss, and it was a combined 5 points for those 3 games. I think UConn, like what Toe said, I think they're going to have a hard time guarding Jeremiah Fears. He's done it against way better defenses than UConn. Porter Moser isn't a bad coach himself. I mean, he's 6-2 in the tournament. I know Toast, and I said it when the season started. This UConn team just lost too many players to three-peat. Caravan has looked worse from last year with less help. Hurley seems to have an aneurysm once a game on the sideline.
He was hurt before.
I know, but
no,
Caravan has been a shell of himself. He can't hit free throws. He can't hit the deep ball. I mean, he'd really have to figure something out to make.
He just has no help. Like, I mean, they're always in foul trouble. That's going to help Oklahoma. They get to the line a lot, and they shoot 80% from the line. I know Oklahoma's small. They don't rebound well, but this game's going to be offense against offense. Both teams aren't great at defensively, but I think Oklahoma's is going to keep trading 2s for 3s. UConn isn't a solid shooting team. Oklahoma is. So while UConn can win this game out inside, the outside is definitely going to be Oklahoma's game. I think this game should be back and forth. The over is a good look too, I think, personally. I might bet the over actually as well, but I don't actually think I bet Oklahoma, but I think I'm going to bet the over. But I'm on Oklahoma. I just can't back up UConn team getting 5.5 when they struggled against teams like Nova, lost to 7 against Seton Hall, by the way, and they lost to Xavier this year. So no way I'm betting UConn giving 5.5.
Also, just really quickly, while Sauce is bringing up this comment, I will say I like the over as well. I'm glad that Scoop said that. I think that we're getting a little bit of a discount on. I think it should be more in like the 150s, low 150s range. But because UConn plays so slow, I think we're getting a couple extra points. I don't think that's going to matter here today. So I just wanted to say that. Go ahead, Sauce. I'm
bringing up this comment because I think it's a good point, and Toast is often he misses the bigger picture here. Fresh 1117 says, this guy has such a compelling argument with the Zags and doesn't realize half his argument is valid for UConn as well. Mans just doesn't know Big East ball. Love you anyway, Toast. I've been saying for years he doesn't know Big East ball. Yeah, speechless. Give me UConn.
No, I just put up UConn there. I want to see it on the screen.
I am the captain now.
I mean, why can't this be like 3 though? And also, why is everyone voting UConn?
No. UConn.
It's UConn.
It is UConn. I know.
Probably just do an alt. You can do an alt line 3.5.
Big East is cleaning shit up in this tournament, man. If you're not on the Big East train,
they only had 3 teams. So.
Yeah, all W's.
Or 4 now. Xavier.
Which one of how many of them have lost?
Yeah, I hear
you. Xavier, Illinois. Interesting. You know how when like you fill a bracket out and then it like comes time to it, and like you see something down the line. Yeah, I'm gonna pick this, and then like it actually comes to that, and you're like, shit. I think I filled my bracket out wrong. I think Illinois clears.
Yep, because the world's on Xavier.
Not because the world's on Xavier. That doesn't impact the game. Because Xavier didn't even look all that good against Texas. And they had like a... you guys go first. I'm taking this down. You guys go first.
I bet Texas over at Illinois. so I will also bet Xavier over Illinois. Xavier 7-1 last 8. Professor X, Fremantle's a beast inside right now, and you saw Illinois late down the season, or really any time during the season. This team either shoots 90% or 10%, and they don't have a real defense. Illinois' defense looks absolutely terrible right now. In the last month, they're ranked 139th in defensive efficiency. The line's short for that reason. If this was last month, 2 months ago, really, I think Illinois would be favored by 7.5. It's all the way down to 3.5. I know most of the bets are on Xavier. Most of the money is. I don't think it's that bad. I think it was 60-40 the last I checked. It's not that crazy, but Illinois 4-4 down the stretch. All 4 losses by double digits. 3 of those losses were by 20 plus. So you saw against Texas and down the stretch, Xavier can score. Illinois is an awesome rebounding team. They have size, but I think they're a weak team. They're weak mentally. They're weak physically. Fremantle's going to play a good game against, I still feel. Also, they're shooting 39% from 3. Illinois hasn't been able to guard anything. Interior, I agree, may go to Illinois slightly, but it's kind of like Kansas. They haven't shown that they could put the talent together. Like Jakosionis, Ivicic, both awesome players, but nothing has clicked lately for this team. It's not the team. It's not the time to go cold as a team. I'll ride the hotter team going into the tournament, and with that win they just had against Texas, this team shows moxie, shows heart, grit, guts, determination.
You know what those words mean,
Quad
bro.
one and all of those. I'm grabbing Xavier. Also, as like the last game, I'm looking at the over as well in this one. I don't think there's going to be much defense on either side.
Toast.
This one's really hard for me. Honestly,
I'm always good.
I like Xavier because of their experience, their ability to score, but they're not really deep, and I think that could be a little bit of trouble here for against Illinois. Not that Illinois is some very deep team, but I mean they still have guys. I mean that can really punish you in certain different ways. I mean, I know that they haven't really looked great, but I do trust a guy like Boswell. I mean, we got the acting face assassin in Will Riley as well. Again. I don't know. This one's really hard for me. I guess you can put up. I don't even know. Honestly, I have no interest in betting this game. I think it could go. Yeah, I think you can make a case for both teams, to be dead honest with you. So,
Wags. I didn't realize this is the first time I'm seeing it with the Sauce Network logo next to your name. That's sweet. They, by the way, 99 cents per month is the lowest I can make it. I tried to make it free. Trust me, guys. I could. It doesn't let you. The lowest you can go is 99 cents a month. But yeah, appreciate you signing up to the channel membership, Wags. I think I'm gonna go Illinois here, even though in my bracket I had Tex/Zave winning.
Tex/Zave.
That's what it said. Tex/Zave. So I think Illinois clears in this one. Everyone's bailed on the Illini. Let's talk Bryant, Michigan State. Oh, by the way, if you're in the betting league, you have 1 hour and 3 minutes to submit. So remember, we're doing a 2-week league, $300 cash to the winner. If you didn't get in yesterday, there's still, I mean, you're not out of it. If you miss 2 days, you're probably would be too far behind. But if you missed yesterday, you're still very much in it because it's a 2-week long. So yeah, you have 1 hour and 3 minutes to submit. Bryant, Michigan State. This number feels a little short. Kai, what's up, man? This number feels a little short. I thought Michigan State would be like the next 1 seed up, right? 17. Is Bryant good? Maybe I just don't know Bryant.
Not really.
I took Bryant personally, 17.5. I
Against
honestly
Sparty?
think they're like, huh?
Against Sparty?
Honestly, I feel like they're like the Temu version of Sparty. They're really big. They're experienced. They play through their defense a little bit. They're not afraid to get up and run. They can rebound. Yeah, I honestly think they're like a Temu version of, like I said, of Michigan State. So, again, Michigan State's been very, very good this year. There's no question about that. But covering 17.5 against a team on a neutral that I feel like I said, matches up really well. I don't think either team has a really significant rebounding advantage either. Bryant's a fantastic rebounding team. So again, every point that you make for Michigan State, you can make a case for Bryant. It might not be as big of a case, but you can definitely make the case for Bryant. So the only issue that I would see here is that Bryant's very, very thin. So if they were to get into foul trouble, if this game's played inside and if they get into foul trouble, Michigan State could definitely start pulling away here and win this game by 20 plus. But I'll take my chances with the team in Bryant that like I said, matches up, I think, really well with Michigan State.
I like this comment here from Freddie Camacho. He says, Bryant has played 2 NCAA tourney teams this year and lost by 22 plus and 40 plus to Grand Canyon. They are not on Michigan State's level. Toast. He addressed it to you. And I agree. They're not on Michigan State's level. Sparty up. I'm with the world.
Well, yeah, I mean, not very many. I just want to make a correction. Not very many teams look good against St. John's when they play St. John's at St. John's. So the Grand Canyon game, it is what it is. But yeah, both those games were on the road, not a neutral.
Scoop, Sparty up with us.
Tom Izzo hasn't won since 2000. It's been 25 years. His team is coach is garbage.
Well, he hasn't won
Tom
a
Izzo's
championship.
so overrated. It's unbelievable. He doesn't win. He's not a winner. I love to talk shit about Tom Izzo, but I think they cover here. When the bracket came out, I was saying I was going to take Bryant with the points. They have great scorers, Pinson and Timberlake, but the more I look at it, I think it has to be Michigan State. Bryant is one of the highest offensive productive teams in the country. They run the 7th fastest pace. They run the court. But they're also 317th in strength of schedule and hasn't played anyone near the defense of State. Well, they did it at a conference, like he just said, to St. John's, lost by 22, and they did allow St. John's to put up 99 points. But the problem is they also lost to Fordham, Ivy League Brown, Stonehill, Siena, all at a conference. And they did give up that 50-point loss to Grand Canyon, giving up 112. So, yeah, not only should Michigan State shut down their offense, they rank second in the country in opponent three-point percentage. I think Michigan State's offense should have a great time here. Bryant does have the tallest team in the country, but can't don't think they do a great job rebounding, where Michigan does a great job as offensive rebounding. So the last month, Michigan State has the third best defense in the country. I think Michigan State should win this game by 25. I think Bryant's going to try to run the court, but I think the defense is going to be too much here for Bryant. So
Wrong.
I'm on Michigan State. How am I wrong? You said you were also on Michigan State.
Oh, my bad. I was looking at something else. And you started your whole thing with the Izzo hate.
You're just so concerned with me
honestly,
being wrong.
I put up Michigan State and spaced out for a second. I was reading something on this other screen, and I don't find you very compelling. So
He said wrong.
That's understandable. Just know what you're talking about.
I got the same pick as you. So.
I understand that. I'm just saying.
I'm just so used to shitting on Scoop, dude. It's like a reflex.
I love working for this company. I just want to let you know. I have a great boss. Good coworkers.
It's a reflex to just tell Scoop he's wrong.
Yeah.
He and in my defense, he started the whole thing out with Tom Izzo hate speech.
Yeah, because everybody, whatever. I'm not even going to get into this.
Toes, you've taken so many L's trying to fade Izzo recently.
I don't even, but the ones that I've put money on, I'm okay. So I can pick on the show. It's all good.
What a bunch of bullshit.
I agree. It's a bunch of bullshit when I hear the things that I hear about that frickin' Michigan State.
Yo, see, the reason Toast is on Bryant, it's not because he thinks Bryant's going to cover. It's because he hates the quote-unquote public that likes Izzo. That's why he's on Bryant.
No, I like Bryant because I think I gave a pretty good explanation of why I like Bryant.
I didn't think it was a good explanation.
It does really help when I hear the bullshit that I hear about this Michigan State
That's
team.
what I'm saying.
Absolutely nothing. I mean, they just put stories. I swear to God, they just make up stories. I can't even get into it. Let's just go.
Last game out, then we'll do some community parlay. Liberty, Oregon. Potential fake sharp play of the day.
100% sharp play of the game.
Both. Actually, I'm pretty sure Toast. I know Scoop's on the Scoop loves the Flames.
Yeah,
Wrong.
Go ahead, Toast. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, I didn't bet this guy. I bet Morgan in a moneyline parlay, so I can't really come on here and stand on business with -6.5.
I'll put up the money line for you.
St. Mary's and Oregon +100.
Oh, Where's Oregon? Okay. You know what? I'll type your parlay. St. Mary's and Oregon plus 100. Got it. All right, Scoop. Tell us why you like the Flames.
Yeah, I got Liberty 7.5. This game opened at 4.5. I think it's 7.5 again. Yeah, I'm taking Liberty. I haven't been high on Oregon all year. Shellstead hasn't been the star Oregon expected. Biddle is not Dante. I'm sorry. This team sucks. Get Oregon out of here. Liberty is the kind of Liberty from their football team. Should have dominated their conference. Lost some weird games. I agree. Western Kentucky, UTEP losses, Kennesaw. Metric-wise, this team was easily the best Conference USA team. They beat Kansas State and McNeese out of conference. This team is good. Liberty is a slow-paced team. Really works off ball streams to get open threes. They don't go inside pretty much at all. They're 358th in two-point attempts. They just don't do it. All their shots are from the outside, but they hit their shots. They're 6th in the country in three-point percentage. They hit 39% from three. Dana Altman is a good coach. He'll have a game plan, but I feel like Oregon's just an average team all around. I don't think they're good in any specific category. They did rattle off a bunch of wins to end the season, but I just don't see much offensively to keep this one close. You're going to say Liberty doesn't have any quad win. They haven't. I don't even think they played a quad win team. Sure, but they haven't played. They played tough defense all year. They're ranked 48th in Ken Pom, and for a Conference USA team, that's pretty respectable. I think they'll play up in this game. It opened up at 4.5 for a reason. It's because Liberty is a really good team. So go Liberty. I think Liberty.
It also ballooned to 6.5 because
7.5.
Dana Altman doesn't lose in March. 7-0 all-time ATS and against the spread and on the money line in the first round. It's Dana Altman in March, guys. You either know it or you don't. It's that simple.
Trevor's awake, by the way.
We have an announcement. Trevor Vanderbosch is alive. He has a pulse.
He's by a railroad track right now, but he's fine.
Probably somewhere by a railroad track, maybe in a back alley. And to give you his current state, he typed 4 letters, Libs, Libs, which I suppose is him signaling to the crowd that he's going to be on Liberty. And then after that, he typed something else. He said, I survive.
I love you, Trevor.
Bro, rehab, Trevor.
Oregon lost to Minnesota, Nebraska.
I survived. I will be on Oregon because Liberty sucks.
Beat Iowa by 2. That was a great win. Oh, I forgot that Washington team. They won by 7.
They've lost 3 games in a month. 2 of them were to the Michigan State team that everybody wants to suck off, and the other one was against Michigan. That's like a hotter team in the country. So let's just stop the whole.
The Indiana win was great.
They had a bad 2-week stretch. That was
a good win.
Anyone betting Liberty in this game is just admitting they didn't watch college football this year. Because if you saw what this Liberty team did versus their expectations, you would never trust them in any sort of big spot. I played Liberty pretty heavy against who the hell was that? No, that wasn't Western Kentucky.
In football?
Yeah, who was like the other
dude? You know who it was? I think
it was
Jacksonville State.
It was Jacksonville State.
They sucked all year.
And Jacksonville State's quarterback was hobbled.
And now Liberty's quarterback went to Colorado.
Good. So. He was terrible.
Well, he's going to be terrible in Colorado.
Nah, Prime's going to coach him up. Warren Sapp's got the line now.
Well, Prime is an all-star coach.
Prime's going to coach him up.
Well, Marshall Faulk. I didn't even know Marshall Faulk's the running back.
I saw that yesterday.
I didn't even know until I looked at it. I was like, really? All right.
Let's do a community parlay.
Parlay, the parlay we bet, yeah. Community parlay is for the community. We community, making a parlay. Yeah.
All right. First, let's get the standings on the screen for the league. Show you what's going on. But again, we're just 1 day in of a 2-day. So if you join today, if you get in, you're not like way behind or anything. You could still it's $300 to the winner and a trophy. Obviously, the same trophy as always. So in the homeless division, McIver jumps out to
also known as the Trevor division.
Yeah, Trevor is in that division. McIver jumps out to an early lead. USMC's right there. BJ Selman had himself a nice opening day. Bad plumbing, we got a battle. Cheeseburger Eddie up top, but he's being chased by a lot of familiar faces. Cygnus, Heem, Cincy Kid, Peruvian Flute Band, another battle. Wolf Chia Bets, familiar face up there, Chia Bets. Edwin also. I'm in the Big Hoss division. I'm currently sitting in 5th behind Tinker, Apollo, Jay. Some real familiar faces there in the Big Hoss division. And then the Cops. In the Cops division. In the Cops division, we got Shipley there, 0.88 sitting in 3rd place with a very familiar face up top. Rock rolled, the Pittsburgh guy, plus 2.16 units in 1st place. So let's do a community parlay. The Cops is funny.
I hope Rock and Roll enjoys his time because Pirates season starts here very shortly. And
I
Jared
feel
Jones
like,
is already
dude,
on the list.
honestly though, I feel like he handles it well. Like what?
Oh yeah, because he knows they're terrible. That's
and
thing.
like he's like a good Pirates fan. Like he's like
very
optimistic
knowledgeable of what's
without
going on.
he's like optimistic without being like getting his hopes up, kind of. So let's do the community
Takes a
parlay.
lot for me to respect somebody like that, and definitely has my respect.
Oh, and to be in the league, KyleKirms.com. You do the Discord, all our picks, and the league, and all that.
The league is for people that are in our group, subscribe to Sauce Network Plus, which is open to everybody. But that's
is also our Discord. So.
If you're a member of Sauce Network Plus, you participate in the league, or you can if you want. You don't have to. All right, cast your votes.
I hope it's a better parlay than did that parlay hit yesterday?
Oh no,
what was it? Well, I know St. John's won. I know Tennessee won.
It was like
didn't they have Louisville? I thought they had Louisville.
Louisville is probably in it, but I'll look right now.
I'm almost positive it was.
Louisville's in it. Gonzaga.
So the only ones that lost was Louisville.
Louisville.
Well, I mean, Tennessee and St. John's didn't matter.
Oh, you guys.
Someone said Jared Jones has already depressed me. Damn, our Pirates fans already down.
Dude, I know, dude. Don't even.
What happened? What happened to Jared Jones?
He's got elbow inflammation, which is not a good thing, or soreness, or what have you. But there's a lot of positives for the Pirates. I know that's crazy to say, just really quickly, but Skeens, Bubba Chandler, and Jared Jones is as good as 1-2-3 combination as you're going to get in Major League Baseball. So,
I don't like to start for the community parlay. Yesterday's community parlay lost because of Louisville, and what I started off today's show,
Baylor,
I started off today's show saying, guys, I'm flipping to Mississippi State because Baylor feels like today's Louisville, the first game of the day where everyone's on one side. So the community may have just screwed themselves with that Baylor pick, but let's go. Let's see let's Duke money line. People will vote for that.
And to the question, I'm not high on Pittsburgh, but I do think that Bubba Chandler, Skeens, and Jones, like I said, is just a very, very good 1-2-3. So.
Got to admit, I don't know any of those players.
Scoop doesn't know Seam.
I only know Yankees. I don't really know anything else. We suck.
Cast your votes. Cast your votes.
Shout out Gonzaga, by the way. Just what a performance. Don't worry. Don't worry, everybody. You guys can still fade Gonzaga here soon. Let's see what the number is now.
Toast, how do you say Wofford? It's Wofford, right?
Wofford.
Ski.
Yeah, that's how I say it.
Oh, okay. I was just asking. Ski asked in the comments. He said everybody says Wofford. Pronounce
like waffling. Wofford.
Waffling? You use the word waffling often, Scoop?
Doesn't Wofford? You waffle, you like don't know what you're doing. Isn't that a thing?
I think waffle means
like you go from one side to the next, you're like waffling, isn't that a thing?
No, that's not a no.
That's a Benedict Arnold. Isn't that what Trevor calls
That's a Benedict Arnold.
Isn't that what Trevor calls
waffling means like you hit somebody like, oh, he waffled him, I think.
Well, I looked on Google and Merriam-Webster says the term of waffling is to bake a batter baked into a waffle iron, so that doesn't really help me.
There's multiple definitions.
Wife's never heard of waffling either.
Yeah, to talk or write a lot without giving any useful information. So that's pretty much what I do.
No, that's not it.
Yeah, to be unable to make a decision is waffling.
Yeah, I think that's wrong.
It's not. It's in the dictionary.
Which one?
I don't know.
Is it Webster's? I don't trust it if it's not Webster's.
Let me check. Webster's. Webster waffling.
Ski, you can call him whatever you want, to be honest. Who gives a shit? It is Wofford, though, I think. I don't understand what the other pronunciation would be. I don't even understand, to be honest.
Wolford?
There's no L. I'm not saying that you're saying that. I'm just saying, like, I don't even... I don't know.
How do you say it's Oregon? That's how you say
Oregon.
it.
The Oregon Trail.
See, but Scoop says it different.
Well, on the East Coast, people say Oregon, but that's not
Right.
how you're. It's
Probably
Oregon.
not how you say it.
The way to say it is Oregon and Louisville. That's how you say those two.
And Nevada.
Yes, in New Jersey, people say Oregon and Louisville. But that is
And
not
Nevada.
correct. People in New Jersey often don't give a shit how people want their hometown pronounced. They're like, we're going to pronounce it the way we think it should be. This is a New Jersey thing. But I say it correctly, or at least I do.
You made me consider that I was saying Mario wrong for like a good 2 months because I was like, man, he's Italian. They're Italian.
It's Mario.
Like maybe
Mario.
I'm screwing it up.
It's Mario.
Okay.
You are saying it wrong. Last poll coming. And
Trevor's in there doing Wofford.
Trevor, get some sleep, dude.
Florida really helps the money line parlay, guys.
Yeah.
They put Florida in. Scoop, you have the odds up?
Yeah, that Florida pick moved the points up by 4. So good job.
4 cents.
By the way, that plus 5 something hit with St. John's. I told you to bet the spread the first half.
Oh, Omaha first half.
Omaha
St.
first half,
game.
St. John's second half.
Scoop, I got something for you. Michigan State. Michigan State.
Great. Great. It's still better than yesterday, plus 210.
Well, because they got
Oh wow.
they got Baylor in there.
And St. Mary's isn't that much of a underdog.
They added a like to the community parlay that moved it 4 cents. It's freaking wild. All right, so the community parlay is Baylor money line, St. Mary's money line, Florida money line, Michigan State money line plus 210. Thanks everyone for watching. There was 2,000 people in here.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So we'll be back same time tomorrow. You know what?
Maybe 11 tomorrow.
Yeah, we could probably do 10:30, 11. I'll let you know. There's not as many games. There's half the games, so we don't need 2 full hours. We'll be back at 4 p.m. for the NBA. For those of you that want to bet some NBA, there's a bunch of games tonight. Me, Chris, and Ski will be back at 4.